The first thing that strikes me when I sit in the car and roll away, 3, 4, 5 meters, is Rolls-Royce.
Can you connect?
Rolls with a Volvo. Is it possible? This car is primarily designed for the Chinese market. The Chinese love back seats. They love comfort. And this is a pompous big thing that really stands out when you arrive. But is it in the back seat that you should experience the car?
Or should one drive it? Or who is this car really for?
But damn, how quiet it runs, and this air suspension with dual chambers, so quiet, double glazed windows. The right comfort, that's really where my senses started to pick up with Rolls-Royce. This one rolls magically smoothly, much better actually, I would say, than any other car in the class. We can talk about them, the class competitors, a little later. But what about the back seat then? Is it a Rolls back seat? No, it actually isn't. We have nothing in front of me here. It's empty here. You can't put things here. There's no handle here, so I can't hold on. There's no light there. I can hang my jacket, possibly a hook there. There's a small screen here, so I can adjust the fan a little, or the heat. We'll take the fan today. No heat at all today. But I will ask my driver to turn on the massage in the front, because there's no massage here in the back, and that annoys me enormously. Above all, because of one thing. We are going to listen to this.
Do you hear? It sounds psh, psh. It's like the massage is pneumatic.
It bothers me all the time to listen to that. I don't get a massage myself, but my driver does. Did I buy the car for my driver, or did I buy it for myself? Who should buy this car? That's a darn good question. And here we have buttons that you can use to recline, and then I feel just like a kid sitting and half reclining back here. There is absolutely no Rolls-Royce feeling in this reclining seat position back here. No dignity at all, and that's because the seat cushion is very short and there's a bit of a lack of thigh support, and you're sitting too close to the ground, or rather the floor. So it becomes some sort of reclining, lounging position back here, and it doesn't feel good. And it actually presses a bit too much. If I'm being picky, you should be when you're riding in luxury cars. It presses a bit too much on the rear here. I kind of slide forward. I don't know, I'm not very comfortable. And then when you raise the backrest, it becomes much more dignified. Then I sit with very straight backrest, but then you feel a bit like, no, but yes, I see forward much better. I have more dignity, but absolutely much worse for the thigh support here. So this back seat makes me very confused. It's both super good, but I simply sit better in a Passat. There, I have more, and I mean the space is everywhere for me. I am 1.80 meters tall. There is plenty of space for the legs and the head everywhere, and a nice middle thing here. You can have stuff, but it maybe should have been, if it's supposed to be luxurious, it could have been a bit chilled here to keep the drinks cold. I would have liked a small table here to put things on. I would need to spruce up this back seat properly with, as I said, massage handles and a cushion that can actually be adjusted and pulled out here so that I could get a little more thigh support. There are also many Chinese cars that have extendable thigh support in the back. And this is actually a car that is manufactured, built in China, primarily developed for the Chinese market. Volvo was unlucky. This car was also supposed to be sold in the USA. Fits very well with sedans in the USA. But it can't be done for various tariff reasons. But damn, how nice it is, how quietly it runs. If I just close my eyes like this and feel how the suspension works. I'm sitting in this soft comfort mode, quiet neck yaw. Maybe not the same magic ride as in a Rolls, I can't say that, but For being a Volvo, it's like this that I've ridden, absolutely. I think I have to try driving because I think I have a thought about this. This is, after all, a car you buy to drive yourself. And then you can offer someone a nice little ride every now and then. You have a large back seat that you can offer.
So up to the front seat, please. Now, where should you test drive cars if not on the starting straight of the Monaco Grand Prix, right? 333 horses.
And this has nothing to do with speeding, this car. It's just, this is something about smooth driving. And it has a feature that I actually like a lot. Instead of starting to beep when you drive over 1 kilometer per hour fast, there's a little resistance in the gas pedal, so you feel, oh, I was about to speed, so I don't do it. Now, you can certainly press on, and it goes further. But it's a very nice way to maintain the speed limit. And as I said, I'm sitting a step up. It actually has that SUV feeling that, man, see, like, even though it's a sedan, so you sit a bit higher in this car than the surroundings. Actually, almost at Maserati's level. Almost. It's called Levante, right? Now, let's see here. Now we have to concentrate on the starting straight here, up towards the casino. Hairy bend here. Let's see if we can blink a little. You might not have to do that, but we do it anyway. This is what we're going to look at today. This is a real millionaire's car. It starts from 933,000 krona and ends up somewhere, if you want everything, with a lot of, hello, eyes on that yellow car. I don't understand this. This car is made to be seen. It is developed primarily for the Chinese market. When you want luxury items, you want to sell more in China, but also want to sell very cheaply in the USA. A sedan, this is a classic sedan. And is it Volvo's last sedan? Maybe, maybe not, but it is not a classic sedan. We can look at it anyway. The design is about 10 centimeters higher than an S90. It is a bit shorter, but still 5 meters. Volvo says it's a mix between a regular car and an SUV, so a sedan SUV. We're almost talking a bit about the Volvo ES90cc, right? Which never became a success. But here, a 3.1 meter wheelbase, so a large, nice car, and much more spacious inside than the S60. And of course, it's not a sedan, it's a hatchback. A bit of Saab about the whole thing. Let's see here. We can do that. Fold up here, and what do we see here then? Well, a trunk that is not large, just over 424 liters, if I remember correctly. Here we have our bits and pieces. You can keep on dividing it into 3 parts and so on and so forth, but it is not big. So no, this is not the car for you if you need a good family car. Absolutely not. This is something completely different, and it's just for you, I would say. This car, if you think a bit about who should buy it, I thought at first, maybe the bank director in Nyköping who wants to have this, who wants a nice, modern, stylish car just for themselves, and checking out the back seat here.
Look in there. It looks big and flashy.
It's not that, but it has already been. I have already done it. I have already wrapped that up. Why should we talk about it? A Volvo wants to move up and be more of a luxury car. They want to step away from this Volvo house and dog. This should be more the good life. And they say that this car is for finding balance in one's life.
Calm and nice for the environment, absolutely. The interior is very much Volvo. Standing screen that is a bit more elegantly placed on this little shelf down there than before, and then the volume knob, this little scroll thing. And the standing screen, that's also very strange. This car is made for China, but in China people prefer to sit and watch. It said movies or such. Yes, this one is more made for navigation. And then they also say that it's narrow standing, that it's easier to access everything. A screen that is laid down, it becomes longer to reach for all functions. That's how it is, of course. So I can absolutely like it, but I wonder if the Chinese like this. The steering wheel feels nice to hold, but at the same time they don't have that slightly, not that fantastic metal feel in the buttons, but it's plastic and so on. So maybe they could have stepped it up a notch there. Another weakness for Volvo is that these buttons on the steering wheel, they are not swipe length, but they are press, which is at least a step in the right direction.
The entire revelation of this car is indeed smooth, quiet, nice. Now I took a wrong turn. If I had been too correct before, I think I would have been fired. No, I'm driving correctly.
I think we're on the right track here. We will arrive at the casino shortly.
A lot of pedestrians here too. It's strange. If you compare it with competitors like the Audi A6 e-tron, BMW i5 or Mercedes EQE and so on, I feel this one has a higher level of comfort. It's quieter, cozier, a bit more enjoyable to ride around in. So if you want a luxury car, definitely. And it also has this higher level of technology now, at least the i5, and competes with the Audi in terms of charging and range. But the range here, this car goes 65 miles on 92 kilowatt hours. And there we have a hill Rolls. What the heck? What have we done wrong that we're not driving a Rolls? The twin motor has 106 kilowatt hours and goes 700 kilometers according to WLTP. But is it really enough when the BMW iX-T goes 800 kilometers, when the small Mercedes CLA goes 790 kilometers? Now we are talking about luxury cars. Even though these engines are said to be much more energy efficient, one might still want even more range just because. But my competitor analysis is that this car may not be the most spacious, but the most luxurious in its class. And a sufficiently high level of charging and range so that you feel okay. This is fine. Or maybe I am the target audience, someone who wants a very comfortable, lovely, cozy, luxurious car just for themselves, and then you can invite someone on a little trip. And if I'm going to buy a car just for myself, I used to drive a Lexus V8, so I want high comfort. But I also want, if I'm going to buy a new car, it should have state-of-the-art technology. This one has 800 volts charging, maximum 350 kilowatts. In the best configuration, it goes 700 kilometers. It has the lowest air resistance ever, they say, in Volvo's history, CV25. It can perform 500 trillion calculations per second, so it is absolutely the smartest Volvo ever. It has LiDAR, so that it is extremely, safe, and it should be able to become as self-driving as any car should be. It ticks all these ticks regarding smart and good technology. Finally, it is built on the SPA2 platform, so the iX60 will unfortunately be even better then. It will become lighter. This one weighs from 2.4 to 2.6 tons, so it is a heavy, big beast. It ends up somewhat in between in terms of intelligence, or rather range, I think. This one will be outdone by the slightly cheaper EX60, which isn't entirely optimal. So this one ends up somewhere. It is...
The development steps go like this and like this and like this. Then we jump down here. No, we don't.
They go fast. So this one is, even though it's completely new, it's already a little bit overtaken by itself in Volvo's way. And what about the fact that everyone who owns, it is said, an EX90 has been affected by software problems? We just spoke with Erik Severinson, one of Volvo's top executives. He said, this one is ready. There are no bugs in this car, he almost said.
We will have to try that.
This must deliver on everything technologically that it should. Hey, ouch, now I'll take a ride and see if this is the car I want to travel in, live with. Is it a perfect like this? Cozy car if you don't need a lot of space and don't need a sports car either. You can just glide through life. And how far does it really go then?
Well, this car should go about 66 miles if you do a charging stop. You start with the car full with a 15-minute charging stop. Then you get about 66 miles on a summer road and about 51 miles on a winter road. So I think it's okay for most people, but somewhere I think that this big battery and that they are a bit heavy. EX60 will be lighter. So maybe that's what speaks most against this car, that it is not quite as super modern as the X60 that will come later. But at the same time, that's how it is in the car industry. You can't wait to make the next car even better.
Even if it is a cheaper car that is like, yeah, you have to make every new model as damn good as possible. Improve everything all the time, otherwise you're toast.
And everyone actually does that. So sometimes it turns out that the nice luxury cars are not quite as good as the cheaper ones. It's the same for BMW now. An iX is not as good technically as an iX3. More luxurious, absolutely, but not the same range and charging and all that other stuff. The driving feel then.
Light, nimble, a bit high, but it doesn't feel mushy or anything like that. You can drive fast enough in this car, but it's not a sports car. It's definitely a comfort car. Now I'm actually going to turn on the massage somewhere. So we'll have to wait for the real driving impressions when we get up on the mountain roads, I say.
The formula track is not really that good to evaluate today. Now we are up in the mountains and can feel the handling a bit more. This high seating position makes it not feel like a real driver's car. 6.6 seconds to 100, 333 horsepower, more than enough. There is a stiffer suspension setting that I'm using now.
Oh, still a ballroom floor-like feeling. The roads aren't bad here, but
Very nice.
Ride comfort, easy to drive, smooth, pleasant. As for speed capabilities, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely excellent. Enough. I wouldn't upgrade because of it.
But twin motor, you get 456 horsepower, you get all-wheel drive.
You get 5 extra miles, faster charging too, 350 hit for 310 kilowatts, and a larger battery, of course. So I would go for 80,000 kroner extra approximately to get these. I don't think you really need the extra horsepower, but the range and everything, I would go for it.
then there's a performance version with 680 horsepower, quite large. Also all-wheel drive, of course.
4 seconds to 100, 1,050,000. I wouldn't take that one. I don't think this isn't the car where you need that kind of performance. I actually like the soft mode even more. And the small screen up there we can look at. It can have 3 different modes. Now we see how we are with the traffic around us, and if we press the button there, we now get a little silent mode. This car is supposed to be one of those, what did they say? A car to just find peace in.
Balance.
Balance, life balance.
And here you can get Google News.
Works well, I think. Now we are using Pilot Assist, which costs 210,000 krona. It adjusts the speed to the curves, works really well, smooth and nice and confidence inspiring. Doesn't ping pong between the lines, feels stable. This car has LiDAR as standard in this nice equipment package in Sweden. But the LiDAR has no function for me as a passenger or driver. It just collects data for the future when it might be used. It's a kind of experimental activity that's ongoing. It's a bit strange, but as I said, it's a bit luxurious to have LiDAR.
Not all cars have it. Many have abandoned this project because they think the cars. There, we got a truck with us. Can he handle this all by himself?
Now it's not pilot assist. Now I don't think it's pilot assist driving. Now it's someone else. Now it's the driver driving.
The driver who has massage and everything, unfair. Before I went on this trip, I thought more, what do you need this car for? It just seems strange. The back seat is a bit too small, which it is for such a big car. The trunk is quite small for such a big car.
It's the car for someone who just wants to have it cozy good. I'm on board with this. Slow down life, the ride. You get a little Rolls-Royce Light. It won't be a bestseller, but those who buy this car get a very, very nice car just for themselves to drive around in. Maybe for the driver in some way, the most luxurious, coziest car that Volvo has ever built, with a really decent level of technology. And so far I haven't noticed any bugs regarding music or phone connectivity and such. Works very well, calling and such, and the music, this Bowers and Wilkins system, very good too. So this is a lovely, luxurious Volvo for about 1 million. Would I buy it then? Well, this is just like a, yes, you could say it's a modern Lexus LS460. The build quality is equally wonderfully delightful. Perhaps the ride comfort is even more swaying, cozier. I might miss the V8 and so on, but this is a modern version of that. I like that there are cars made just to feel luxurious and comfortable and cozy, and not so much sport. Instead, this is just nice. This is a perfect car for someone who wants a large, comfortable car, but doesn't need a lot of space. And you can also call that luxury. Imagine if you had this car as a convertible. That would be something. Cruising around down here on the Riviera. I didn't need this elevation, but yeah, the fact that it's so high makes it feel a bit safer. You get a bit of that SUV feeling. You feel a little bigger, and that's not wrong either. But a convertible like this, it would be super nice. You can compare it to the Polestar 4. Then the Polestar 4, I think, has a 100-liter larger trunk, maybe even a better back seat, about 300,000 krona cheaper, somewhere around there. So a much, much better purchase comparatively. This is luxury, and the Polestar 4 does not yet have an 800-volt system either. I have calculated the economics of this car. I'm calculating on the cheapest version, and there the insurance surprises me at 325 kronor and the service at 125 kronor. If I calculate a residual value of 55%, which is quite reasonable, it still amounts to 12,000 krona per month over 3 years. So we end up with a monthly cost of about 17,000 krona. It's not that cheap. It's a luxury car. You don't really think much about the car, actually. And maybe that's also a luxury in a way, that it just feels completely natural. I like this design that doesn't feel Chinese. When you look at the interior, it doesn't feel at all down to the details like Chinese bling, but still very, very much Scandinavian Volvo. Simple, minimalist, pleasant, and these you sit very well. Armrests on both sides, nice chair. It's not like Rolls-Royce soft bonk. What a thick, nice armchair I'm sitting in, but the very good support. I think these seats feel better than they usually do in the S90 or V90. Or it feels like high comfort in this seat, or you can also adjust it so it fits snugly. I sit very, very well in this car. I could simply enjoy a long trip here, down to Monaco, for example. Why not? Of course, an X90 says absolutely every day of the week, yet that choice is much, much smarter, because you can have a good back seat.
lots of stuff with you, but this car is not made for you to drive around with a lot of things, and it is made for the person sitting there to have it super comfortable. So this can be said to be a little parenthesis in the car world in its own way, but it might be a lovely parenthesis because it is just so darn cozy. The back could be much, much better. The trunk could be much, much larger, considering it is a 5-meter long car, an electric car that is also tall.
It's not the smartest car that Volvo has made, but perhaps the most delightful in some way. That's not so bad either.